Sri Mata Saranam Mama, Om Sri Aravinda Saranam Mama. Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. Very good morning. In this spiritual congregation, today we are going to discuss a chronological events in mother's life. Almost it is a physical life of the mother. Chronologically, some external events, whatever has happened and whatever has been written or whatever they have described in their own voice, that's what we are going to discuss in a very brief manner. But we must think as per the mother's own remarks. Whenever and wherever there was possibility of manifesting a ray of consciousness, I was there. She is eternal. From the beginning she was there, now she is there, and she will be very much prominent till the ages to come. So this dual incarnation in the form of the mother and Sri Aurobindo, there are two who are one and play in many worlds. Not only in Pondicherry, India, or in France, but actually they play in many worlds. There are two who are one and are the secrets of all power. There are two who are one at the mights and rights in things, and to some extent, even though everything is occult, everything is concealed, to some extent her life and all in chronology, whatever we see, some people see or they have described to some extent briefly, we are going to discuss to the point. In 21st February 1878 at around 10:15 a.m., the mother Mira took birth in Paris. In 18, his father was a banker. In 1881, at the age of 3, she was very much aware and conscious of her life and her relation and of this world and outside world also. In 1886, at the age of 8, she started learning drawing and music. In 1899, on 21st August, Mr. K. Chakrabarty presented mother even Bhagavad Gita, and from that day onwards, after reading this Bhagavad Gita, she felt Krishna is God, and inside the heart she felt the presence of the Lord Krishna. Within a month, she was aware of this Krishna Vasudeva presence everywhere in her heart. In 1906, she learned the occultism from Algerian guru Thion and Madame Thion. In 1912, she was busy in her spiritual regular writings, which was later expressed in the form of prayers and meditations. In 1914, 7th of March, in the Kamagaru ship, she returned to Pondicherry, and there was a very brief fast meeting on 29th March 1914 with Sri Aurobindo in Pondicherry. And that day, after seeing Sri Aurobindo, Mother Mira realized this is the Krishna for whose portrait I was drawing and whom I was calling Sri Krishna. He is the same person, he is the same man. After seeing her, she sang of the famous song that is known as Radha's Prayer. After seeing Sri Aurobindo, she tried to focus the truth, to tell the truth that hundreds of people are still involved or actually dipping in the deep darkness, it does not matter. Yesterday whom I saw, his presence is very indicator that one day, a day will come when this darkness will be turned to light. Then on 15th August 1914, that Arya publication was there, and Mother and Paul Richard, they actually joined this Arya publication. On 22nd February 1915, Mother returned back to France for this First World War. On 1916, France, after staying 1 year with him, his family, actually mother, started journey to Japan. On 1916 in the June, she reached Japan and stayed there for 4 years. On 1919, during January, there was actually one Mahamari, one actually deadly flu was seen in Japan. For that, during that time, with her occultism knowledge, mother saved. In applying her this power of occultism, she tried to cure the people, and this flu was completely driven away, no more to be seen in the from atmosphere. During the early period, she felt in her vision she is going up and up and up. When she is moving up, actually the dress ghagra, she was wearing, that was actually coming projecting down and down and down towards the ground. In Paris, lakhs of people, they are getting the touch of this dress, and they are getting cured. Their problems are getting solved. They are getting happy and everything. And was initially, from the initial period itself, her Mahakali Shakti was shown in her. When the warden of the hostel was trying to torture one her friend, she just mother touched her middle finger or thumb, so that she felt, this warden felt helpless, and actually he was overpowered. From that day, her the Mahakali Shakti, Mahakali force of the Mahakali was seen. In 1919, we will come here. During 1919, mother had a brief meeting with Rabindranath Tagore, the Nobel laureate, the Vishwakavi. There itself, Rabindranath Tagore requested her to come back to India and to take the charge of Santiniketan Vishwabharati. But mother was not, could not accept that proposal. She knew her higher destiny is waiting somewhere, because these are all the material things or metaphysical things, but things is whose spiritual supramental things are awaiting, and she has to wait, and she has to come back to India, and she decided to join Sri Aurobindo. During 24th of April 1920, she came back from Japan to Pondicherry, and permanently she stayed in the ashram, stayed there with Sri Aurobindo, and started preparing the ashram, how it will be prepared, and how the things will go on, how this yoga will continue, everything. Because during this period before Sri Aurobindo, when he had written the mother, questions were asked about what is going to happen, what is the future of this ashram, what is the poverty, or what is the problems we are facing, how it will be solved. Then every time Sri Aurobindo was answering, when the mother is coming, wait. Mother vision, she will be there, the mother is coming, and finally she came back and started working. On 24th November 1926, Sri Aurobindo Sri Aurobindo was elevated to the overmind consciousness, Sri Krishna Chetana, that Adhimanas Chetana, that overmind consciousness. That day onwards, this consciousness, this force, overmind consciousness, was descended into Sri Aurobindo's material body, physical body. From that day onwards, Sri Aurobindo was actually stayed inside. He did not come out. He did not meet with people. There was no public intervention, intermixing. He was there completely. He withdrew from the external life and went for the intense sadhana. He stayed inside. From that day onwards, mother was there to take the entire charge of the ashram. She was the mother. She has come, and from that day onwards, Sri Aurobindo also was calling and mother as the mother. As from Mira, she was elevated, and Sri Aurobindo called him the mother. Total, Sri Aurobindo, from that day onwards, mother took the charge of the ashram. After Sri Aurobindo's departure, during 1950 also, that force, the supramental force, came to the mother's body also, and afterwards there was possibility of the manifestation of the supramental force on this worldly atmosphere. On 5th December 1950, when Sri Aurobindo had the willful departure, when he tried to withdraw from his body, in other words, when he died, that all entire duty of this ashram was on hers in with his mother, and she took all these things into her hands. But God, the occult uh, assistance from Sri Aurobindo, who was actually physically who was not there. On 6th January 1952, International University was started in Pondicherry. In 1959, this name of this International University, Antarjatika Vishwavidyalaya International University, was changed to Sri Aurobindo International Educational Center. Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education, it was changed. During 1954, France ruled this Pondicherry. It was converted, it was actually it joined, it mixed with India. With this mixture, after this mixing of Pondicherry with India permanently, that day on 15th August, mother accepted the Indian citizenship. His mother declares, I am in French by birth, but I am Indian by choice. So, in 1955, the then Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, on 27th November, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Kamraj Nader, Indira Gandhi, they came to meet the mother. In 1963, Nehru for the third time came and met the mother. During July 1956, Vinoba Bhave came to ashram. During that day, same year, on 29th February 1956, the supramental force came and it was got manifested in this earthly atmosphere. On the 28th February 1968, there was the work which was annually going on. The mother, mother was planning her dream project, Auroville, came to operation. From at least from 126 countries, the earth was brought and it was actually placed in this Auroville or Ushanagari, the city of dawn. Then 15th August 1972, there was the celebration of centenary of Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo centenary celebration was going on 1972, 15th of August. Mother was very much active that time. All the books written by Sri Aurobindo was almost actually it was published. Mother had the full contribution and full dedication and full blessings for these works. On 15th August 1973, 15th August 1973, mother had the last balcony darshan there. Afterwards, mother has not come out. On 17th November 1973, in the evening at around 7:25 p.m., mother withdrew from her this outer body, what we see. Then her body was entombed in the same place, in the same samadhi where initially in the bottom floor Sri Aurobindo's body was laid. At 95, staying 53 years in the ashram, she laid her body out. Sri Aurobindo's ashram was established by her. Her workings thing, university was education was taken forward. Her darshan, her philosophy was carried forward. Mother was instrumental in these things. She said, I am a deputy of the aspiring world. My spirit's liberty I ask for all. I have come here, and the purpose of our coming to raise the world to God in deathless light, to bring God down to the world on earth we came, to change the earthly life to life divine. Thank you, Vande Mataram.